allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Henry,
Here.
Mr. Savili,
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski,
Here.
Mr. Foley,
Here.
Mr. Esposito, Mr. Emma,
Here.
Mr. Della.
Here.
At this time, Carl, we still have a holdover on one of the applications here?
Yes, Chairman. The first one listed 2123 Mufi Lopez at 1094 Bordentown Avenue. As you may recall, that this is the one that's underneath the JCP&L power lines as an easement. I did have a conversation with the applicant and the representative from JCP&L, and they're resolving an issue. Basically, they have to get an easement agreement together with JCP&L. It's not worth us moving forward till we know exactly what JCP&L will let her keep. And that's within the easement area. So the applicant gave us an extension through August, and we'll just continue that to next month. As soon as they get that agreement together and send it over, we'll relist it for an actual hearing. We just need to carry it from month to month. So if anyone happens to be here on that application, that'll be carried to next month with no further notice.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Chairman.
The first application is 2207. Lopez,
Yes, Mr. Chairman, that's Lopez and 3225 Washington Road. The applicant's attorney is here. It was listed, but they are going to renotice and change a few things.
Yes,
Want to put your representation on the record?
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, member of the public, Stephen Hale, representing the applicants, Mr. and Mrs. Lopez. And yes, we did have an opportunity to speak to your attorney and professionals. We did submit revised plans, want to give the board an opportunity to review those plans and the board professionals review them before next month's meeting. So this is being carried. We're going to re-notify before the next meeting. We certainly consent to any appropriate extension of the time period for review.
Yeah, I think we have plenty of time to act, but
Yeah.
thank you, Steve.
But I just want to make that clear.
So yes, if anyone's here on this application, which is at 3225 Washington Road, Priscilla Jewelry, that is not going to be heard tonight. They will renotice. So if you got a notice in the mail, you'll get another notice for next month. So the hearing will actually occur next month. And this is the attorney here. If anyone happens to be here, wants to speak with him, he said he'd be willing to talk with you afterwards.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And enjoy the holiday
Thanks for
weekend.
making the trip, Steve.
Take care.
okay, application number 2209, Joe Sirica.
Joe, come on up to the microphone. For the record, this is application 22-09, Joe Sirica, 5 Tannenhill Lane, and he's installing a pole barn. Joe, this is kind of informal, even though we're in a formal setting, but let me just swear you in real quick. Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
And give us your name, spell your last name,
Joseph Sirica, SCIRICA.
and really just explain what you're doing at your home and why you're here.
I want to put a pole barn up so I can get my antique car in there. I just bought a brand new Corvette, some motorcycles, some quads, and some lawnmowers.
What is a pole barn?
Pole barn is the cheapest cost right now, being that construction is so high. And I am a contractor, but I went with this pole barn because it was only $20,000. It's a metal structure.
Oh, metal. It's like,
Basically, it's a garage. It's just a type of construction.
okay,
And Mr. Chairman and board members, just to advise, there's 2 variances needed for the pole barn. One is for the maximum height. It's considered an accessory structure. The allowable height is 15 feet high. This is 17 feet high. Also, the regulations for basically accessory structures, garage and things of that nature is 150 square feet. And this is 960 square feet.
I have a question. You say you have a antique car
Yeah.
and a couple Walmarts. I guess the question would be, why such a large pole barn?
Well, I want to put, I just bought a brand new Corvette. I have the antique car. I have quads, I have jet skis and motorcycles I want to put in there.
Okay. Okay. Now, there's not going to be any other business run out of there or anything else like that? Because you own a construction company?
I do,
Yeah.
and that's based out of Nutley, in North
Okay.
Jersey.
So you won't be bringing any of
No.
that construction equipment in there at all? Right, and is there going to be heat in there or hot water?
I
or
haven't
how-
decided yet on heat or electric yet. I may run electric. I'm not sure yet.
Okay. Facilities, bathroom facilities,
No,
nothing?
no.
Okay. Is there going to be a concrete floor?
It's gonna be a concrete floor,
Right.
yes.
Okay. Now I was looking at the, I guess, Google Earth and I saw there was a pool there, but I look on your plans here. It doesn't seem like there's a pool listed on your plans. Is there a pool in the back?
There isn't. I just bought the property like 3 years ago and I did put a pool in.
Okay, but the plans don't show a pool?
The plans don't show a pool because I'm on like 1.69 acres and the pool's all the way to the right side of that.
Okay. I wasn't too sure how close it would have been to the pole
No,
barn
no.
as compared to,
Far away.
Yeah, and you got permits for the pool?
Yeah,
Okay, so that would have been reviewed to see if it was too close to the
Yeah.
house. That's the concern. right?
okay.
Because we have a regulation
Yeah, yeah.
distance from the house. Okay.
Right, right.
The other conditions we usually ask for barns is, no bathroom, you're not going to
No,
convert any
no
living
bathroom.
quarters in there.
no.
You're not going to, it's only be for your vehicles. You're not
It's
going to
only-
rent
no,
out
it's
to
only
other
for my
people.
vehicles.
You're not going to run a business or fix
No,
other
there's no
people's
business
cars.
going ahead of there.
Okay, those are the things we ask and those are okay.
I have
by you.
construction equipment up there now, but it's for my personal use while I've been doing the property.
Okay. Thanks.
Is there a second story to the pole
No,
barn?
there's no second story.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board here? Jay, do you have any questions at all, or
No, Mr. Chairman.
John? You good?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me open it up to the public. Anybody from the public wish to comment on this application? Come on up.
Good evening, Mr. Just need to swear you in. Please raise your right hand. You swear firm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
And give us your name, spell your last name,
Janoy, Janoy, last name Hardy, Hardy.
and your,
37 Deerfield.
thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so I know Joe, he's my neighbor, and I support the barn simply because, I spoke to him because I know that he has equipment back there. Spoke to him, he said, no, said exactly what you just said today. And I said, cool. I have the view of his pool, which looks amazing. So he should be good with it. So I just wanted to lend my support.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it. Does anybody else have any comments on this application? Oh. Make a motion that we close it to public.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Quick question.
Oh, sure.
Pole barn, does it still meet the regular construction standards of, whatever? Like if he was building a garage?
Mr. Chairman, he's going to have to get building permits from the borough. There were a set of plans in your packet to show, it's kind of like a prefab structure that's put up, but it does have to meet all the code requirements, yes.
Very good. Thank you.
Hey, what's your desire in this application?
Take a motion to approve.
For a second?
Second.
John, roll call.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Bailey.
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Foley.
Yes.
Mr. Lucido.
Yes.
Mr. Emma. Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Okay, your application has been approved. You have it memorialized at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Timothy Menzel, 2210 application number.
Same as before. Raise your hand. You swear firm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, it is.
And give us your name, spell your last name.
Timothy Menzel, Mentzel.
And same as the other applicants, just tell us what you're doing at your house while you're here tonight.
I made an error, first time homeowner. I installed a pool without a permit. I made a mistake. I was unaware that I didn't need to do that. So I did receive a fine in the mail, and then I was told to go through getting the correct permits and that, I may be able to put the pool up. I did need a variance because the pool is slightly closer to the fence in the garage. It doesn't encroach on the rear or the front of the house. So I filed all the paperwork to try and get the variance to keep the pool up.
Right. And just for the board, just to clarify, there's two variances. One is the side yard setback, 10 feet is required, and the pool is at 5 feet. And then as we discussed before, there's a distance a requirement of setback of 10 feet and 7 is where the pool is located. And none of the neighbors have complained about the pool being too
No, not
close
at
or
all.
anything?
No.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay. Any questions from the board here?
It's the above the ground pool?
It's above ground.
Okay. And just for the record, what's the size of the pool?
It's 15. Yeah, 15.
It's round.
Yeah, round, correct.
It's round.
15 by 15. Oh, yeah.
Could be 15 by 7.
The, open up to the public. Anybody have any comments on this application at all? Make a motion to close?
So moved.
Sorry, go ahead.
On the plan, the survey sheet, it's a shed in the backyard to be demolished. Is that still the plan?
Yes, I do plan on demolishing. It's very old. So
Thank you.
We had a motion to close the public. So move. Oh, open to the public.
To the public, yes.
Okay. Anybody from the public wish to comment? I think we want to.
Move to close the public portion.
Is there a second to close to the public? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, what's the board's wish on this proposal here?
I make a motion, we approve the application.
Is there a second? On roll call?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Savili.
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Foley.
Yes.
Mr. Esposito.
yes.
Mr. Emma.
Yes.
Mr. Bello.
Yes.
Okay.
You're gonna have fun this summer, huh? All right. Enjoy.
Okay, the last application, 2211, Rich Barnett.
Good evening, Mr. Barnett. Same as before, I'll swear you in. Swear firm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, I do.
And give us your name, spell your last name.
Richard Burnett, Burnett.
Thank you. And before you start, Mr. Chairman and board members, let me just explain why we're here in this application. It's something we don't deal with a lot. The borough has an ordinance which is allowed by law that requires any variance that's either built and constructed or it's used within 2 years from when the variance is granted. And the variance here was granted in 2016. The resolution is in your file. So the applicant's required to come back and request an extension of time since they didn't use it. And the purpose of having that ordinance and having the applicant come back is to make sure there hasn't been any substantial change in the area that would make it not a good project anymore. So if the variances for the ordinance changed, the zone changed, which isn't the case here, and the applicant can explain it, and the neighborhood hasn't changed, it's not as if the neighborhood's become like really single family and we approve the doctor's office and it's not a variance we would approve today. So we're just looking for them to tell us that that's the case. And then, we would normally grant a reasonable period of time for them to start construction. Because again, we want to make sure that if there's a variance, it's built and used, so it doesn't hang on and somebody builds it 10 years from now, it's not a good variance anymore. So I just wanted to explain that to the board and for you too, in case no one explained that to you. So again, why don't you explain, what your delay was and neighborhoods in still same shape, those
Life
type of
got in
issues.
the way.
Okay.
And we thought the variance was good for a long, forever. We didn't know it runs out. We actually obtained a demo permit for the building, take down the old building. And then we were getting ready to apply and we found out it was no good, so we had to come back before the board.
And like you said, has the neighborhood changed at all?
No.
The types of uses and.
No, it's,
And John, I'm correct, right? The zoning ordinance hasn't changed in the past couple of years. Not that I could.
Carl, I guess being approved 6 years ago, it's still valid. He doesn't have to go through the process again.
No, that's normally not the way these are handled, because again, the board had made, and the applicant's correct. If not for the ordinance that says you have to build it in 2 years, the ordinance kind of runs with the land forever. But again, Sayreville decided to adopt that ordinance, which is allowable, that says you have to use it within X period. And the borough decided 2 years was a good look back period. So he doesn't have to go and prove his ordinance overall, his variance all over again. Your plans and everything haven't changed, right? Still the same construction. So nothing's changed. We're just making sure that nothing changed.
Right.
The only issue that I was aware of that I got a call from you, Chairman, is the buildings where they started demolition and you stopped. Would you agree to finish demolition within 3 months? 'Cause
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Okay. So again, I don't want to speak the whole time on this, but it is unusual. I wanted to put it in context for everybody. It's not something, I think, in my 20 odd years, this is probably the second, or third one I've dealt with all towns, not just there. So.
Is there a pool there?
No.
Because on this, it doesn't look like a pool.
That may be the neighbors. It's an odd. if
It's
you-
an odd
if you-
shape
Yeah,
property.
it's an L-shaped
Yeah,
property. So
it's
if you
odd.
look at it on the plans, on the plan set, but
This pool's right next to the building at 17 Journey Mill.
Not my pool.
Huh?
it's the neighbor's
Not my
pool.
pool.
The pool you're seeing is the neighbor's,
Yeah, it's the property's awfully close to the other buildings.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
the existing one, right, not the proposed one.
We originally, naive, thought that we could give the extra property to all the neighbors. But then we found out that that's difficult to do. And one wanted a fence, one wanted a driveway. When I approached the people, I said, we'll give you the property, the back property. We don't need it. Like, you know, it's useless to us. And like I said, one wanted us to put up a fence for them. The other one said, give me a driveway. And that's when we said, forget it, you know. But if they want the property, they can have it. You know, the back for it. We don't need it.
Is there any plans for that property now? You're just gonna have that building along, I guess, Furman in the front of it and along Journey
No,
Mill?
we're gonna tear it.
And that property behind those other homes, or what's?
That's
your
what's
plan?
coming down. The
What's that?
building that's behind the other homes is coming down.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen to that
When it's
property after
finally
you take
grass.
it down?
It's just gonna be grass.
It's gonna be grass.
Yeah, yeah, it's just gonna be a backyard for the house that we're building, we're building a 2-family.
Right, right.
But like I said, we'd rather get rid of that property, it's just more grass to cut. But that's, we thought that was easy, it's not easy.
How much time are you asking?
Yeah, here, yeah, we're gonna start. We finally secured the funds, we're ready to go. And if you give me, the demo's gonna be right away, the next couple weeks, because we have that permit. I have to apply for a permit to build a house.
Yeah, the
So,
building
yeah, I still gotta get that.
And you're ready to go on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it'll be a year from the date of the extension.
Yeah.
As long as they start, right?
Yeah.
They have to finish.
Well, no, they have to, well, it's a use variance. So they're gonna build it and use it within a year.
And I want,
Within a year
and you
extension.
better, because, you know, just in case somehow, maybe 2 years then, but we're gonna start right away. We have no intention on stopping now. The problem is, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna have it done and people living in it in a year, you know, who knows? Like I said, I thought this thing would have been up a long time ago.
Yeah, the length of the extension is in the board's discretion, but again, you know, the law says it needs to be reasonable. So you can't tell them you got 2 months to build it when you can't even, you know, it's not
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, I can't even get a Mazda for 6 months right now.
In this- yeah,
Window
this market.
shortages, cabinet shortages, so, yeah, that's part of our problem too.
So,
Well, you're agreeing to knock the building
he's-
down
Oh, yeah.
within 90
Yeah, yeah,
days, I
yes,
heard?
yeah.
90 days?
Yeah, we're agreeing to knock the buildings down.
yeah, so the applicant's being, you know, reasonable and also building in some fudge factor and asking for 2 years. Because if we give him a year
Yeah.
and he started construction, hasn't been able to finish it, he's gonna come back in a year and we'll do this all over again. Says, I need another 6 months, another 8
Yeah.
months, so. Board to take into consideration, he's asking for 2, 1 seems to be a little tight. The board's not comfortable with 2, something quote reasonable. And the time will run from the date of the adoption, which is next month.
Now, does that building have a basement?
No. The old building in it? or-
Yes. the old-
No, no,
You're not-
basement, no, no, it's slab.
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Now, I guess nothing that's changed in your plans that you submitted 6
No,
years ago.
2-family, garage underneath.
There's for sale signs on that building now. They're old signs?
That's how we found out the variance ran out, because I had put it up for sale. Somebody called me.
You put up for sale?
Yeah, I said, you know, because we what you call it, like I said, life got in the way. So we had a sign on it. People were calling. Somebody was interested in it recently. He called Andy, and Andy said, oh, no, the variance ran out. The guy called me and said, you don't have an approval there. And I was like, yeah, I do, you know, and that's how I found out. Otherwise, I would have never known.
Are you considering selling it now as is?
No, because I'm too far. Now I'm in it, you know, I've got plans. I'm ready to go. Yeah. Well, money's money.
Any other questions from
I
the
don't plan
board?
on selling right now, though. Just want to do
Any
it,
other questions?
gotta get it over with.
Open up to the public. Is there anybody in the public that wishes to comment on this?
I have a question. I'm Richard's partner. So what is the timeframe then that we have to be done?
Well, the board hasn't,
Demo, is that
yeah.
what we said is in-
Couple weeks.
the board hasn't decided that
Oh.
yet, so it'll be somewhere between a year and 2 years for what you asked for, and it'll run from next, because next month we adopt the resolution for the board's decision tonight. So I'll make it run from next month, so that gives you an extra month.
Okay, so now, there's one thing I just want to say. If, because we're talking about this on the way, if you don't adopt it till next month, then I'm not gonna take down the old building. Because if something goes wrong and you guys say no in a month, I got nothing now. I got
Yeah.
this property.
Well, so we were just going to address that after the board voted, but just legally, if the board votes yes,
Okay.
I don't know what they're going to vote. They haven't voted yet, but let's assume for sake of argument, they vote yes. The resolution is really just putting that into writing.
Oh,
I can give you a copy, the one we're going to adopt tonight. So
Okay.
it's not like next month the board can go, yeah, I don't,
Yeah, we
That's-
don't,
okay.
once we.
I don't think I want to give them
It's done.
Oh, okay.
18 months. So
That's
it's a
fine. I'm
done
fine
deal.
then.
It's just, and actually believe it, the law says if we don't adopt the resolution in 45 days, you can take us to court and make us adopt the resolution approving your
Yeah,
extension. No, I know you wouldn't. And we'll have it done for you next
Okay.
month.
All right.
I don't think he's.
We always,
No, I'm
even
not
though
doing
sometimes I'm a little late getting them in, I get them in. But that was one thing I actually was going to discuss with the board is if we want to verbally authorize that he can proceed with demolition if he wants to be before adopting the resolution next month. And that way, if he wants to, we can go to Andy and start the resolution, the demo, but we would still adopt the resolution.
I
next
have a
month.
demo permit in place.
Oh,
I
okay.
have it in hand. But-
Oh, okay.
But the problem, I'm just wondering if I take
Yeah.
it down, then what do I got?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So let's see what the board votes and
Yeah,
we'll give
okay,
you the
all right.
I
give you the
think,
deets after.
yeah, I think one of the concerns that we had was the building itself.
You're getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we agree. It's,
So that's why we were putting
gotta
a
come
restriction of 90 days on there to get it down. I think when it comes to you building that building, I personally, 1 year, 2 years, it doesn't matter to me. But I think getting the building down is the most important part at this point.
okay, I'm agreeing to that. I agree with that.
We opened it up to the public, yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, could go over the concerns or the conditions that we would put in here on it if we approved it.
So there's two issues. One is the board satisfied that there's been no change, that we wouldn't want this variance to continue? So that's what you consider when you decide to vote yes or no. And then the question really for the board to decide is how long an extension? Is it going to be a year, 18 months, 2 years? How long the extension?
Normally, when we give
And
an
then the
approval,
condition of demoing in 3 months. Sorry.
when we give an approval, usually it's a 2-year approval too, right? Or if it was in a new application?
If
2
it was
years?
brand new, the ordinance controls that. We don't have to vote on that, okay, if this was brand new tonight, we'd never heard this before, we wouldn't be discussing, are we gonna 2 years, whatever, the ordinance kicks in automatically. You don't have to do anything, it just happens. We have had applicants, we've had it here, I've had other boards who have the same ordinance. They'll come in the same night and say, look, we have a lot of environmental work to do on the property. We can't finish it in 2 years. Can we get an extension of 2 years? The very night they get their approval, and boards will say, okay, yeah, we'll give you 3 because it's gonna take you a year just to finish all the environmental mess on the property. So that's when it comes into play. But again, normally we don't even think about it. Ordinance kicks in. It's in my resolutions in the end. It always references that 2 years. This is an older one that doesn't have it built into the resolution. This is situations like this.
Yeah, I
we
saw that on the
started
newer
to add it.
resolution.
Yeah,
Date was on there, how long?
yeah,
This one I'm reading, it doesn't run out.
yeah.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
started,
I know.
we started adding it
Yeah,
because of
I
these
saw that.
situations. Just so people know about it. But again, you didn't know it was an honest mistake.
Yeah.
Let me make motion on this we would approve it with a 2-year extension for the building of the house, but the building has to come down within 90 days of the resolution, or as of today, I guess.
Well,
We can give him
We can give Andy a verbal that. he
we can give
let it
Andy a verbal
proceed.
that he can move forward on that. Okay, so it'd be 90 days from today that the building will be coming down,
That's fair.
or tomorrow, whatever the date would
Yeah.
be. That's the motion. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Joan, roll call, please.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. Sedilli.
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Mr. Foley,
Yes.
Mr. Esposito.
Yes.
Mr. Emma,
Yes.
Mr. Bello.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have one resolution for memorialization. That was the warehouse down on Lower Main Street.
Yes.
Do you have any
Correct,
questions?
Chairman. Usual conditions in there, including that the 2 years runs under the ordinance. And all the conditions we discussed. If the board has any questions, if not, entertain a motion to adopt.
Any questions on the resolution? Make a motion to adopt?
I move we adopt as written.
Second. Roll call, Joan?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. Sedilli.
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Bello.
Okay, and I think last thing, any questions on the minutes from the last meeting?
Move to approve the minutes.
Second? Who was that, Phil? Phil, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Okay, make a motion for adjournment. Unless there's any questions first. Any questions from the board that they want to bring up? Okay. Make a motion to adjourn.
Second your motion.
Everybody in favor, say aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Oh, yeah, have a good Memorial Day.